4,999.9 miles. 5,000 miles, we've made it! Yay! Oh, this bike has been so good for the 5,000 miles I've had this thing. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. If it, for whatever reason, was lost out of my possession tomorrow, I would go out and buy another one. I could not say the same for my other bike. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be doing a 5,000 mile review of this beast, the Royal Enfield Meteor 350. Well, I've done a 2,500 mile review and I said that I loved it, and I think most of the points that I made in that 2,500 mile review basically still stand. Let's just jump on with the way that it makes me feel. Mate, this bike, I don't know what it is. I literally don't have a clue, but my Honda CB750 is better in pretty much every conceivable way apart from looks and fuel economy. You know, the CB750 is more comfy, it's faster, it handles better, it's louder, but this bike, I don't know, there is something about it that just makes me so happy. And there's something like, I never jump on the Honda anymore. The only times I jump on it is to give it a ride because the battery's about to go flat. This bike only cost me £3,000 brand new, and the Honda cost me, was it about 7.5? But yeah, this bike, it's just so nice to cruise on. It is not fast, don't get me wrong. We'll get onto that more later on, but yeah, it just isn't fast. I would even go so far to say as it's borderline too slow. But, you know, for what I bought it for, doesn't bother me at all. And the fact that I'm actually riding it more than I thought I would just goes to show how much of a good purchase this bike was. If we go on to the comfort, this is a bit of a mixed bag. You'll get some people say that it's absolutely fine, and then you'll get some people that say that you need to upgrade the suspension. I went ahead and upgraded the suspension. It's definitely a lot better, but as you can probably hear in my voice right now, I mean, this is a rough road, but as you can probably hear in my voice now, it's not perfect. I think that's just the way the geometry of these you know, these rear shock bikes, they're just not going to be as good as them monoshocks that you'd get on a modern motorcycle. But with these Hagen shocks, it's by no means bad. You know, I'm not crying to get off of it. And even though the Honda might be a bit more plush, let's say, it doesn't bother me at all. I'm just happy enough with this. So the fuel economy, well, you know, this depends, and this goes back to what you're going to be using it for. If you want to sit, and you won't sit at guaranteed 70 miles an hour, but we'll get more onto that later again because it's the most controversial subject about this bike. But if you're trying to sit at 70 miles an hour on the motorway, you're gonna absolutely burn through fuel. You know, you're probably looking at 60 mpg. Now 60 mpg, you're like, well, that's not bad at all. What's wrong with 60 mpg? Well, when you're just cruising around like I'm doing at the moment on this bike, you know, it's a 60 mile an hour road. I'm gonna get to 50, maybe 55, I'm gonna sit here. I'm looking at around 100, just over 100 mpg, maybe just under 100 mpg, but most of the time, I'd say on average, I'm filling up. I calculate every fill up. I've never really seen under 90, and that was, you know, when I was taking my wife on the back quite a lot, so obviously a little bit of added weight there. But most of the time when I'm cruising around like this, we're looking at around 100 mpg. Right, let's just get the speed out of the way for a minute then. So this is such a controversial subject. I know that I'm going to get loads of comments down below going, meh, 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 you're wrong, meh, meh, meh. Well, do you know what? I don't care. If your bike is faster than mine, good for you, but mine isn't. right? So here we go. I'd say you can guarantee that you'll get 60 on this bike on a flat road. So if we squeeze it open a little bit more now, there we go, we've got to 60. And currently this is probably what you can guarantee the like your guaranteed maximum speed. Now with the wind that's coming at me at the moment, I've probably got an actual tailwind at the moment, so I reckon that, you know, if this was a dual carriageway or a motorway, I could get up to 70 right now. If you introduce any sort of headwind, if you introduce any sort of uphill, you're going straight back down to 65, 60. If you've got big hill, well, I say big hills, not big hills, but you know, if you've got sort of like a 5 to 10 degree gradient, you're really looking at only about 55 miles an hour. And you know, it just is what it is. Again, I didn't buy this bike for speed. I bought it to cruise around the really twisty narrow country lanes on and do about 20-30 mile an hour. It's only because I like this bike so much that I take it to work every day, and I'm off to a friend's house at the moment, which is, well, as of when I left, it was a good 2 hours away. So, you know, I am doing the much bigger journeys on it, but I don't like to do motorways or dual carriageways on it. I will, but I don't like doing it. It's not what the bike's built for. Yes, you can thrash it and you can probably hit your 70 miles an hour, and there'll be people claiming that they can do 90 on it. But you know, if you buy the bike with the with the expectations to be doing a comfortable 70 miles an hour, overtaking 80 like some people say, you might be disappointed. Now, you may ask, why would I complain that this bike, well, I'm not complaining, but why would I say that this bike is borderline too slow and not get, say, a Meteor 650? Well, I'd love a Meteor 650, but I really enjoy the frugality of this bike. You know, it just feels really good. It's a heavy bike at 210 kilos, but it doesn't feel heavy at all. You know, the center of gravity is low. It feels much more maneuverable than my Honda, which is only at 190. So yeah, I don't want to spoil the experience that I've got. There's something about me and this bike that I don't know why we've got this sort of bond, and I don't want to trade this in and lose that. Obviously we've got the fuel economy as well, that's much better on this than I'd get on a Meteor 650. I'd love to own a Meteor 650 as well, but I can't justify owning two of the same bikes, just different displacements. Maybe I'll test ride one day, but I can honestly guarantee that nothing will stop me from selling this bike. I could lose my license tomorrow, or I could end up with a medical condition that stopped me from riding bikes, and I'd keep this bike and I'd screw it to the wall or something. You know, it's just, I've got a big bond with this bike, and it's not worth anything anymore really. I mean, I bought it for £3,000. I've done 5,000 miles. I do my own servicing, which means I've got no service record, so it's probably only worth 1,500 quid. This is probably one of the less desirable colours as well. For some reason, I don't know why, but it doesn't seem like these colours are the most popular, this matte green. But this matte green just looks so good in my opinion on this bike. It looks like a proper old school army bike. So yeah, big fan of it. How's the reliability? Well, like I said, I do my own servicing. I've done my valve clearances, I've done oil changes and filters, and yeah, I mean, I adjusted the chain as well. I will come back to that in a minute, because the chain adjustment was a bit rubbish. But yeah, the servicing is easy enough. The service intervals are quite close together, but I can live with that. It doesn't take 2 minutes to service a motorbike. You drop the oil out, take the filter out, put more oil in, you're pretty much done. The valve clearances being a single overhead cam 2-valve engine is just so easy. Take the tank off, take the rock cover off, and you're there. That's it. Now, what I was a bit of a melon, to be honest. So when it came to the chain adjustment, I tried to, because it was really slack, so I tried to twiddle, you know, each side out, but I didn't actually count the turns. I was like, well, I'll just trust the markings. Now there's markings on the left hand side of this, but there's not markings on the right hand side of the swing arm, so you're just sort of pissing in the wind there. So what I ended up having to do was get a speed square and make sure that the chain was aligned to the sprocket at the front. So yeah, top tip, if you're going to get one of these and you're doing your own chain maintenance, make sure you count your turns of your chain adjuster. Otherwise you can get in a bit of a pickle, because for some weird reason, I don't know if it's just my bike, but there's chain adjustment guides marks on the left hand swing arm but not on the right. So bit strange, but it is what it is. So who would I recommend this bike for, and who would I not recommend this bike for? Well, you know, like I've hinted at earlier on, if you're some sort of speed demon, or you know, you commute 20 miles a day on the motorway and you want to sit at sort of a reliable 70, or you're a young kid that wants to go fast. I mean, I'm only 25 myself, but you know, I'm probably on the younger end of the Meteor 350 owners range. So yeah, so if you're any of them, I'd skip. Some people will disagree with me though on the 70 miles an hour. What you're just gonna have to do is go and test ride one for yourself. If you're like me, you like cruising about, or you're happy to cruise about at a much more leisurely pace, you're a bit too silly when it comes to the faster bikes. You know, every time I get on my Honda, you know, I'm definitely not really sticking to speed limits, and I can definitely get too big for my boots on it. I'm a completely different rider when I'm on this, and I'll have no problem at all with going under the speed limit. But yeah, if you're like me, you just want to bimble about, you don't mind about your speed, you want something that's relatively comfortable, looks amazing, simple to work on, cheap to buy, cheap to insure, cheap to run, this is the bike. And it will make you feel things as well. It will make you feel things inside. It's just great. Anyway, that was my 5,000 mile review. I know it's not up to the scratch of the bigger boy YouTubers, but you know, it is what it is. Please subscribe if you liked it, and hit that like button. We will see you in the next one. See you later.